Hello everyone, welcome here to the semi-finals games. At this moment in the World Open of Bosnia of Portugal this year, we start now the games of the semi-finals in pairs and team championship. We will make here the game of the teams BC1, BC2. That will be again Brazil against Thailand. We hope to see here a great game. We have here the Paralympic champion and the Asian champion Thailand against the American champion Brazil, and we can hope to see here a great game. With us, I have the pleasure to have Stephen Maguire, player of BC3 from Great Britain. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, thank you for having us. I'm really looking forward to this match. Thailand, as you said, they're Paralympic champions. They're also world number 1. In Brazil, they're world number 3, so it should be a really good semi-final.
So with us we have too Michaela. She's here.
I'm the member of the development committee, BC Development Committee. So I'm really glad that. Thank you very much to I can be here, and yeah, I can show you bits about our work in the development committee.
Yes, for sure, can be a good improve here to our comments. Thank you for all to watching us. Start the matches. Sorry, here we are commenting on another thing here. We start the game. Talent here. I'm not pretty sure. Our viewer here is not easy to see. Stephen, if you can see, can talk.
Yes, I can see it. Bonsa has gone. He's probably put the jack about 8 metres, and his first ball, to be honest, as a butch athlete, that's perfect. It really puts the pressure on Brazil.
He usually Thailand use a close approach to the game. Usually plays around 3 meters, but now they put the ball longer. They have here a change of strategy, and so to try to put some pressure here on Brazil team.
Yes, certainly. Santos, he has the best angle, and he's the third best player here. I think he'll try and knock away the red ball. Almost. I mean, he touched the red ball, but not quite enough to dislodge it.
And Stephen, we know that comparing the pairs BC4 or the pairs BC3, even the pairs BC3 against the teams, the way of play can be a little different in order to use the box number 1 and 6. That can be a big difference between the strategy that we use it.
Yes, in pairs we use the middle boxes, so box 2, 3, 4 and 5. But in the team game they use also box 1 and 6, and it's incredible the difference of angles you can get. So the further up the court you come, the less angle there is available. So if you play really short, usually someone in the team will have an angle. But as you can see, that Thailand's went quite far up, and Brazil straight away are under immense pressure.
In that order, to play long can be a useful thing to try to put a good ball first and make more problems to the opponents.
Yes, certainly. If you can get a great first ball up at that distance, then generally there is quite a lot of more opportunity to score.
And we will see. At this moment we are here watching André Luís Filho trying to reduce the space to get more, to don't get many space to the Thailand guys. Perhaps it's difficult to change the point situation. I'm not sure, Stephen. You can see better than me here.
Yes, I think already. I think Brazil are looking to close down this end to make sure they don't lose very many points. At the beginning of the game, he just missed, unfortunately. But at the beginning of the game, it's if you can keep it tight, you know you're still in it. So I think that's Brazil's.
It was a placement, from the right side of the judge ball, but it was too short.
We know that during the year, all players have to work a lot for all zones of the court. That work can be in every sessions, or during the year you train in different zones, or during the week, or during the session of train.
Yes, well, we do practice on every area of the court, but some sessions we might just focus on one area. So if we come into competition and we know, for example, we're going to play 8 meters, we'll have a lot of our focus in sessions placed up in that area, just to give us the best opportunity. But also we look at where our opponents play, because if we know they will play very short, then we will really practice that also to give us the best advantage.
Trying to consider Monsieur what shot will be the next one as the best one, and probably push on. We will see what's Andre who's playing.
As you can see, this player have a lot of involuntary movements that can difficult this process. However, when he gets the time to reach the ball, he can do good throws. This routine of the throwing is very important, isn't it, Stephen? When we watch you, we look to see very calm, but it make part of the training.
Certainly, I mean, as a box athlete, it's very important to. Well, it's a really good shot. It's a nice blocking shot. Yes, as a box athlete, you want to prepare your body as best you can before you release the ball. In my situation, I like to be as calm as possible, and so your body's relaxed before you propel the ball. And I think it's exactly the same for these guys.
So you can have here Luis Marta giving some big hug to the Portuguese players BC3 and BC4. At this moment they are in the court to playing their semi-finals, and we will see during the game making the update to the score. At this moment the Brazilians don't have more balls to play, and they have there some gap to the Thailands to score.
Yes, Thailand probably have about half a meter there, so Vongsa has the best angle, so I think he will go next to try and score the second point.
It's not clear that there are 2 points at this moment. He asked for the referee to see it. Cannot, yeah, 2 points. This competition is for sure one of the biggest competitions in this year. We have here in the BC1 2 and the best players in the world. This is for sure a tough competition, Stephen.
Yes, outside the Paralympics you don't really get much tougher than this. All the big guys are here, and there's a lot of pressure on it because it's one of the last opportunities to qualify for Tokyo 2020. So some guys are chasing points, some teams are not, but there's certainly a lot of nervy athletes out there.
Brazil blocked it well, obviously. We can see that Bravo didn't score with this ball, but they certainly will. The next shot will be certainly also placement to scoring zones. We'll see.
Even if there are some space there, not easy to pass the balls, and the ball don't go there too.
I wasn't happy to see. Everybody's nervous. Yeah.
And the semi-final of the One World Cup is always a semi-final. Both teams are qualified to Tokyo 2020, but they want to show here why they are one of the best in the world. Now we have here the Subin Tipmane playing. Thailand, as other teams, here some difficulties in the throw. We know that this girl usually play long. For sure was a bad preparation to that shot. We will see next what she will done. At this moment, at the BC5 competitions, the girl have to play at least one end. In your opinion, Steven, we during these days we are talking a little about this situation, about the feminine court. What's your opinion about that?
In boccia, there's not really any advantage of being male or female. I think the female quota is about increasing participation in numbers. I know in BC4s, Alison Levine, she's world number 1. Fantastic athlete, very strong athlete, and likewise in many other classifications also there's fantastic there's fantastic female athletes. Yeah, in BC3. Yep.
She's also a proof that we don't have to protect females, but we have this female quota. She's a example, she's brilliant. Actually winner of this tournament, so well done and congratulations on from
We'll continue next. Only two here to come to the court. 2 points to Thailand. A nice start to them. 2 points.
Yes, it's a fantastic start for Thailand. They'll be very happy with that. Looks like Thailand are making a substitution.
She will put Nawat Pradeep and changing for Subin Tipmane. Exactly. Sometimes we saw this during the games. The girl plays one end because of that rule. But can be better if the girls improve by themselves, not only by the necessity of the quota, but because they play well.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Perhaps, Stephen, we hear that can be a possibility in the future that you have separate competitions. We don't know the future of the game. Do you think that if they separate the genders, can be good to improve the game of the girls? Or, for example, in Portugal we have only Carla playing the national level, and another girl cannot be so good to her. I'm not sure about that situation.
Well, I feel that if they have separate classifications for male and female, it will certainly improve the numbers of the females.
Yes, for
but
sure.
I don't really necessarily feel in boccia that it's needed, because as we've seen with Kay Ho from Hong Kong, she can compete on an equal playing field just as well as all the males. And likewise in BC4s we have Mikhaila Balkova, many other fantastic female athletes. So in my mind, I think we should keep it, male and female competing together.
And we hear one chance is also don't have substitutes, or even make the mixed pairs, and you have to play with a girl and with a boy. That can help the game, or no? There are some things that the people talk around the games.
Yes.
Of course, it's not for us to decide the situations, but can be important only to know what the people in general.
No, it will be interesting to see what way the game develops over the next few years. For Rio and London, you had to have a female within your team, but there wasn't a rule that they had to play a specific amount of ends. So this is a new rule that's came in only in the last few years, and there will be a rule in Tokyo. So we embrace it. So we look forward to seeing what's next.
Ok, come here to the game. Start to Brazil. Second hand here. Aí, amigos em Brasil, Portugal, que estejam aí a ver neste momento. Tailândia 2, Brasil 0. Saiu a Tailândia bem para longe. Aí a colocar, usem o chat, falem connosco. Tenho aqui connosco o Steven Maguire e Micaela Ruchinova.
You can't pronounce my surname. Yeah, it's a Riachkova. The surname is
Riachkova.
Yeah, that's
So better Micaela.
yeah, that's fine.
And you have the opportunity to ask what you want. Estava a falar em português, desculpem. Podem perguntar aquilo que acharem que será pertinente também aqui aos nossos convidados. So remember again that we have here Micaela from the Development Committee, and now talking a little about it. Micaela, what was the job that the committee have been done?
Development committee. I'm working in the development committee actually from the end of 2017 together with 5 or 6 people all around the world. We have Skype meetings, and our vice, the chairwoman actually is Heather Loden from Scotland, and the vice chairman is Kenneth from Singapore, and then we working with Mario Device from Canada, Anita Laszlo from Hungary, and me, and observing by Dominic Tremblay. And we working on pathways.
Sorry, we can see here a perfect wall from what project?
Brilliant shot, yeah. Actually, I have as a placement right in front of the track.
That is such a fantastic first ball by the Thai athlete there in the middle. It blocks out Santos, who is their strongest athlete. That's going to be very difficult to move.
Yeah, as I said, what about the development committee? We for example, developed and distribute the common terminology of shots in 2018, and after we review, of course, and refine the existing terminology, and we're working on the courses. So the courses making boccia accessible in the moment, which is delivered in Africa and India. It's a course for countries which they start in with boccia, and Mario Kenneth and Heather developed coach course number 1, and he missed. Yeah, sorry, I'm
Brazil, they try to knock off the Thai's ball that's on the jack.
You can see that this guy have strong.
Yes, he certainly has power, and to be honest, that's the shot you need. You need good power to move a perfect first ball on the jack.
Yes. Back into you, Micaela, only to continue your idea.
No, I'm happy. I'm really happy that I can take this opportunity to tell that the coach level 1 is finished actually, and it was introduced in 2018. First pilot course was in Copenhagen. This year we had course in Czech Republic. So past actually 14 coaches from Europe, they passed this course, and I'm passing over to Steven.
It looks like Brazil have opted to defend, to try and make sure that the space around the jack is minimal, and that they don't lose so many points this end.
Stephen, you said before that the first ball can be a very important ball to the game. During these days and analyzing some games during these years, we know that the players play usually the red to the left and the blue to the right. However, seeing the numbers, we cannot see so many ends win in this play in this side. Perhaps can be better have a good ball than or play in your side that we thought that can be good.
Yes, the reason we play to our own side is because we are closer, and also we have the chance to get a better angle. And if we get a better angle, it's much tougher for our opponents to move off. So generally, that's what we do. If you look at the team game, there is more athletes on the right hand side, so box 4 and 6. So they tend to throw their jack to that side, and likewise Thailand will do the opposite. They will throw to the opposite side.
Okay, thanks, Mikael. One thing that can be important we saw in other sports, though, for sure, football is one of the sports that have more audience and they are more developed. We know that the coaches have to have the levels, the right levels to be in that positions, and we know that even in the international level we don't have. We don't need at this moment a level, international level, to be coach. This is one of the things that the committee want to work on it.
Yeah, our strategic focus is on coaching, definitely. We want to develop level 2 because we want to unite and get stronger the work, the coaching work all around the world because many countries, many coaches are struggling because they don't have national levels, they don't have a pathway, they don't have the structure, and they would like, they're looking for information. So we actually creating resources also because we want to unite the work, and that's why we decided. And we are happy that we producing and delivering in the moment the coach level 1. Actually, we had in Czech Republic Luis Ferreira.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah, and he's been very happy also. So now he's BC1 coach level 1 officially. He got his certificate. So it's working. And the next coach is in Dubai. And also we developed trainers course, which is in Dubai, and it was extended the entry, the date for the entry of this coach, for this course. So these countries just sign up to your coaches because this course is for someone who wants to deliver the coach level 1 in their region or country.
Okay, and we saw here Swingampa making a great job here.
Yes, he's a world number 1 at the moment, and his first mission was to move the block that Brazil placed, and he did that very effectively. He's created some space round about it, so his teammates will try and secure a second point.
Aí até Paulo, Portugal neste momento 2-0 a ganhar a Rússia, muito bem aí Portugal no par BC3, em relação aqui ao par BC4, a Eslováquia a ganhar a Portugal 1-0 no final do primeiro parcial. Neste momento teremos aqui a oportunidade de Portugal talvez estar a fazer um ponto, vamos ver, aguardamos pelo final do parcial.
Brazil is out of the ball in this moment. So Thailand can score more.
Suangampa tries to open a little the jack to have more space to score.
Yes, certainly. He created space for his teammates to try and score the extra point. Unfortunately, he just missed. So Vonsa has 2 balls. So he has space up the left hand side of the jack, or he can go up the other side where he has a little barrier.
Yes, but even here, if he can use a little back of the box, can be better to do that. But I will try to approach the left side of the balls. This solution
Yes,
can be more difficult than the other.
I think so. I think he's committed now to going up the left hand side of the jack ball.
I think he considered the risk and goes for the safest way as possible.
If that ball was the other, can be better. We don't know now. The referee will measure the situation. This is interesting seeing our view is different from the players, so they know what they are doing.
Certainly, when you're sitting in the boxes, sometimes you don't quite see the full picture until the referee indicates how many points, and sometimes the referee will offer the athletes to come out and have a look. In this case, they seem quite happy with just the one, and it will be 3-0 to Thailand after 2 wins.
And the general level of the referees is growing during these years, isn't it?
Oh yes, certainly. There was a referees course run in conjunction with this event, and I certainly have seen great improvement in the referees over the last few years, and certainly this competition.
Okay, at this moment, Thailand 3, Brazil 0. Ahead Thailand. In the other course, Korea in Paris BC3 is winning 1-0 against Hong Kong. In Paris BC3, 2 Portugal against Russia 0. In the other game of teams BC1, BC2, South Korea is winning 2-0 against Russia. In Paris BC4, Ukraine 3 against 2, Canada 2, and Portugal 1-1 against Slovakia. Steven, we look here and we saw Ukraine is a big surprise here in the BC4.
Yes, Ukraine came here as the 10th ranked athlete, so they're basically the bottom seed in the BC4s, but they've had such a fantastic competition. Artem Kalenko, he's come
perfect here this championship.
Yes, he's been phenomenal. He got a silver medal in the individuals, and now he's captained his side all the way to the pairs semi-finals. At the moment he's doing really well, so he's 3-2 up against Canada,
and
2 ends to go.
Sometimes when you have one player that are on fire, can be better. We saw that in Liverpool with Boris, and he pushed the pair to high level. But
he's very happy about art, and he seems like very enthusiastic player, and he really loves Pucha, and he is always trying to improve from competition to another competition. And I think it's the first time we can see him to play from power chair this competition. It's his first time, and also I think he noticed that all the Portuguese, they play in left hand and right hand, and he is just learning himself this kind of varieties of styles, and it definitely helps him a lot.
So going back to this match, Thailand have opted to go back up to probably about 8.5-9 meters. They had great success in the first end, and it looks like the tactic throughout this game will be to put the jack up here.
Now we will wait to see the ball of what Pradit. Can have very good placements. The ball is not in the line of the opponents, but is quite.
Yes, it's not. You're right. It's not in the line, but it's a pretty good shot. To be honest, he's only probably about 15 centimeters away from.
At this distance, can be very good.
Yes, it's a good shot.
Michaela here talking a little about the course of the coaches. How can BSFED improve the knowledge of the coach in terms of biochemistries or nutrition and other things that usually you don't give so much in the courses? The proximity of the universities can be one approach to have more resources to help the courses to grow the level. of the coaches. Sorry, you can talk.
No, sorry, I was just sorry to interrupt. Brazil took a fantastic shot there by Martial, so that puts him in a good position there to take control of this end, really. I think, yep, Martial is going to play again, and he will look to knock on his blue ball onto the white. If he can do that, he will certainly bring Brazil straight back into this game. Here we go.
Now Martial will try to push on that ball probably. We'll see if he's able to do that.
Almost. I think he actually tried to come between the red and the blue rather than push on the blue. So it's looks like it's still Brazil to play. Martial is out of balls at the moment, so he has no more left to play. The athlete in box 2 has a straight line, so if he can throw the ball with a little bit of power, he can knock the blue ball onto the white.
We see in the second end that he have power to move the balls. We will see now if he can do that play.
Yeah, he certainly has the power.
I'm not quite sure about the option of the player here.
I wasn't sure if he was trying to come up
To
the
place
side.
yes.
To place the ball up the side of the white there. Or
And now Andresa will play here. The players can use the assistants to help him to place the wheelchair here.
BC1s are allowed an assistant on court with them to help. What they have to take direction by the athlete, so what ball they want, when they want it, which way the wheelchair has to be facing.
The ball is near.
Yeah, it was a nice pace on that shot. I think they have to go with a little bit more power now to push the Blues on.
Michaela Bisfed is making an effort to try to have the right words to the right things. This job to have the different types of the shots to all people have the same language. This can be an important thing to talk.
The terminology.
Yes.
Yeah, we after we consider we always we creating something, and what about the courses? I wanted to say that the framework of the course was established from the framework from Canada and Great Britain, and we will be very happy if coaches which are passing this course or in the material, we will be very happy for feedbacks from all the countries around the world, and we can do good, level 2, and yeah, we trying to unit. And it's very important, the terminology. We also make the interactive resource for propulsions better just understand and unit and get stronger the work of the coaches all around the world.
So it's the final ball for Brazil. I think he will go for power to try and push on one of his blue balls. Let's see what happens.
He's taking his time. Now looking to the time to see if how many time we have left to play. 20 seconds to propel the ball. No, the ball was not there. And now Thailand have 5 balls again to try to do more points. Stephen, when a team have 5 balls in their hand, is always good.
Yes,
Always what you want.
it's a great feeling when you throw your jack ball on your first ball, and then your opponent uses all their balls to try and get closer, but they don't quite actually do it. In this situation, like the first end, Brazil do have a decent block. They have a few good balls in front. The Thai world number 1 is going to try and dislodge. It's a good shot. That might be 2. It might be 2 to red.
He's just a phenomenal player. Thais are phenomenal. You can see the concentration, the focus, the very mature players.
So they've just called for the referee to measure the score because it looks like it's 2 to red. Because it depends what the score is, that might change what shot you do next.
He has to see the situation. Here they don't need to take a risk, and he will see for sure what he wants to do. And he asks again if he wants to see the measure to have the.
He just wants to double check that the referee has measured it correctly.
Stephen, imagine here a situation that the players ask for the measure, and the referee say that are 2, and they don't play more. But then, in the end, they will see, and it's only 1. This situation how can be managed.
It can happen, but this shows the experience from the Thai athletes. So they come out and just double check and double make sure, so that situation doesn't really happen. It looks like Thailand are quite happy with their 2 points. Looks like in finish, so they only threw 2 balls that end, and they're 3 balls. So quite happy with that.
And 2 more points, 5-0. Nice gap here from Thailand.
Yes, 5-0, and that's halfway through the match, so it's a nice healthy lead, and I'm sure Thailand are feeling positives about the way things are going at the moment. Martial's just coming out to double check that it is 2. He's entitled to do that.
Maybe he will ask for the measure again. He wants to see it.
He's hoping probably for a mistake.
And it's possible, Stephen, that the players make some pressure here to the referee. Is possible? Or
Possible, but the referees are really good.
They all experienced, very experienced players. So every experienced player asks for measuring again, just in case. Yeah. And they both actually continental champions.
and as you can hear, Samuel is.
Samuel Andricic from Slovakia just played a fantastic power shot in the BC4 game. It's very close at the moment. It's 1-1 with Portugal in the semi-final, so it looks like Slovakia have.
And Stephen, the opponents know that Portugal in this floor is very hard to beat.
Yes, Portugal are great. Have been a great rival for mine over my 14 years of playing. The lineup has changed, but you seem to produce athletes quite a lot.
Here, at this moment, 2 points to Slovakia seems, and the score goes 3 to Slovakia, 1 to Portugal. But we have to say that was a brilliant play by Samuel, backing here to the game, 5-0. Thailand winning against Brazil. Can you make a little resume of the game, Stephen? A little resume of the game, what you can see.
Yes, in the BC4s it looks like Slovakia have just taken control of the semi-final, so 3-1, and Canada are 8-3 up against Ukraine, so it looks like Canada will pretty much guaranteed to be in the final. Slovakia are not there yet, so there's still some bocce to be played there as we move into the fourth end in this team semi-final.
So Andresa will start aqui. Portugal acabou agora neste momento 3-1 para a Eslováquia. Sai também agora o Brasil aqui a perder 5-0 contra a Tailândia. Amigos internautas brasileiros, alguma questão que tenham aí? Portugal ganha efetivamente 3-0, vão entrar no terceiro parcial. Portugal muito bem ainda aí na luta para o apuramento paralímpico. Vamos ver como é que se continuarão aí. Seguimos agora aqui no comentário em inglês com Stephen Maguire. We will continue here with this game. Andresa play around the 5 meters, and this can be a very important game not only to this end but to all the game.
Yes, the Brazil athlete's gone 5 meters. We'll see where her first ball goes. She's going to try and keep it in front of the jack ball to protect it. We'll see how she does.
So this championship will be very important in the Tokyo.
It's an excellent first ball. Absolutely, that's pretty much you'd be happy with that. Yeah.
In these situations, when you have all blocks full, can be good if your ball is not touching the jack. Have some gap to create more angles to defend. And here, but on the other hand, can be easier to the Thailands to keep with that ball. But we will see now. Songampa will try to and easily open the situation here.
Yes, he took the option to open it as quickly as possible because they're winning 5-0 at the moment, and with the jack open, they can try and take control again.
Yes, and we see here Canada won his game 8-4 against Ukraine. Interesting situation here. Canada is qualified to Tokyo 2020.
Yes.
Well done. Here and Portugal too. I think that they pass Germany. At this moment they have half point in front of them, so well done to Portugal too. But if you are watching us in the next week, probably Germany will stay in the front of Portugal, but we have to wait until the end of the year to quit the Dubai World Open, yes.
Yeah.
And in that way Portugal will pass Germany.
For qualification into Tokyo, it's been extremely tight. Canada came into this competition, I think they were ranked 10th in the world, so out of qualification. But by reaching the final, congratulations to them. They have now secured their slot in Tokyo. Portugal and Germany were also fighting for that slot. Portugal being on home turf, they have managed to have some fantastic wins over Hong Kong, who are ranked second in the world, and Thailand, who are ranked third in the world. And it looks like certain now that Portugal will secure their slot in Tokyo.
Fantastic job here to Portugal too and Canada. Congratulations to them. Great Britain comes here with qualification done, but the players always want to win the game. Stephen, can you comment a little of the participation of GB BC4s in this competition?
Yes, we didn't have our best performance, but we lost matches by small margins. So Canada, who are in the final, we lost only 5-4 to them, and Slovakia, who we played earlier today, it was 5-1. So the games are very close. But in the individuals, we had two athletes in the individuals, myself and Louis Saunders. We both reached semi-finals. I came away with a bronze medal, and Louis finished fourth in this competition.
And you are watching a great growth of Louis Sanders. We start seeing him maybe 2 years before, and now he's playing very, very well.
Yes, Louis he's only just turned 18, so he's still very young, still developing, still learning, still growing as a person. And yeah, he's certainly one to watch in the near future. He's had a fantastic competition. This was the first time he had progressed from a group at a World Open event, and to reach the semi-finals is a great achievement for him.
And winning, Samuel, is not for everyone.
Yes, and yes, Louis knocked out Samuel Andrzejczyk from Slovakia in the quarterfinals, so that could be a match-up for the future.
Okay, back in here, Brazil now in a bad situation again. It's tough. Maybe Marcelius try to go by the air.
Yes, there comes a point now where he probably has to go for power just to chase the game a little bit.
But it's a good option too here. Open a little the blue one, and now we have the.
Yes, he's moved the blue round a bit so the other athletes are able to maybe push their blue onto the white.
And as you can see during the game, sometimes different people have different options to the plays. How can the players can choose the best play to do? It's about the experience, about the situation of the game, because you have anytime a lot of solutions to do.
Yes, sometimes there'll be 3 or 4 different shots that are available to you, and you have to weigh up which shot is the best, which has the less risk, which is the best outcome, but also which athlete has the ability. So it's about knowing your teammates and knowing if you've got power you can knock off and you're a great placement athlete. So it's about knowing the strengths of your own team as well as your opponent.
We have here Gregorius talking about the percentage of the chance that to do the right things. Perhaps in BC3 is easier to know the percentage, but you know your highest point and not so good points. You can use that percentage to choose the type of shot that you will play.
Yes, certainly. I mean, every athlete, especially me in BC4s, we know our own strength. So if we feel we can knock it off as in a pairs environment, we will say, yep, I can do that shot, or no, sorry, I don't quite have the ability to do that shot. What options do you have? In this environment in the team, the guys will certainly be discussing that, who's got the best line in, who's able to perform the shot best.
And he touched a little in that ball. It was enough to change the situation of the game. And
Yes,
now
the athlete in box 4 was able to push on their blue ball into a scoring position.
he tries here only to change the situation again, but it's not enough. The ball was not on the right line. Perhaps now they have here some work to do.
Yes, what they were trying to do is they'll try and push on their their red balls, so that the closest one will make contact with the white. If they receive 1 point from this end, they will be quite happy to accept that and move on.
And with that they are taking the control of the game. Is an important option to try to control. Is not only win, but control is important too.
Yes, certainly, and you can see that this end is very close. The balls are very close to the white. This actually suits Thailand because it stops Brazil from accumulating any kind of score to come back into the game. If Brazil end up with 1 point, Thailand will be still quite happy.
Olá Ezequiel, boa tarde. Temos aqui resultado neste momento 3-1 para a Eslováquia. Portugal ainda com 2 bolas para jogar, assim como a Eslováquia.
That was a fantastic shot there. he managed to push on the reds as well as the blue, and his red finished on top. Bonsa just had a fantastic shot. He managed to move the ball that was on top, it looks like, into a scoring position. So the referee's just going to double check that.
The ball is not touching in the head right there for years.
Yeah, it looks like the red's not touching the ball. It's a very close measure.
Difficult to measure here. The referee have to be a lot of careful.
It looks like the blue just might be closer. Yep, it's still red to play, still Thailand to play.
But the game is there. Difficult if for Brazilians to make other things when they play. So
The final ball by Bonsa.
we'll try again to push a little the balls to see if the ball goes to the point,
Yes,
ball by ball.
so Thailand is out of balls, but either way it's very well secured.
When Maciel goes to the court, we can see here in the court that Portugal have the last ball of the end. At this moment, it's not clear that Portugal have 1 point or Slovakia. Seems to be Portugal. I'm not sure. Yes.
I think Portugal has 1 point from this end, but they have, I think, 1 or 2 balls left. So
I think here Manuel is Carlo have the last ball. If was Manel can be better if we can put the ball by the air, trying to make 2 points, but we'll see if Carlo can. It was not. No, she touched a little in the ball. We'll see. But not more than 1 point, so Portugal will lose the game. So Portugal will play the third place against Ukraine, and Slovakia goes to the final, plays against Canada. Back in here. Difficult for Brazil to do more than 1 point here.
yes, and that was a fantastic shot just to secure the point for Brazil. There's not really much more they can do. Yes, Marcel just seems happy enough to take the 1 point there. But that does bring Brazil back into the game. The score is 5-1. Heading into Thailand's final jack, into the 5th end.
Voltamos aqui então à língua portuguesa. Neste momento parece estar 1 para Brasil. O árbitro ali com algumas dificuldades na medição. Vamos ver o que é que ainda nos irá dizer. Entretanto, no jogo de Portugal e Eslováquia, Portugal perde o jogo por 3-2. Vai lutar pelo terceiro lugar contra a equipa da Ucrânia. Já a Eslováquia irá jogar a final contra o Canadá. O par BC3 encontra-se ali na medição do final do parcial e temos não é informação de que terá sido, do ponto como terá sido. Neste momento segue 3-0. Vamos então voltar aqui para o jogo. That's way 1.
1 point to Brazil with 2 ends to play. The score is 5-1.
So everything can happen during the game. 2 ends left.
2 ends left. There's still plenty of points available. I think Thailand, they had success up in the far end of the court, so I think they will go back to about 8 or 9 metres. Put the pressure on Brazil.
Yesterday we saw Portugal playing in a different style, placing the first ball in the usual side of the reds instead of play to the blue. When that situations happen, can create some pressure in the opponent, or do you think that is only a question of tactics by themselves?
Yeah, so at this level, all the athletes can play all the shots. So if you can get any kind of advantage, or make your opponents think or overthink, then it can maybe help you.
So thanks you for watching us. If you have something to ask here, we have with us Stephen Maguire from the GB team, and we have Michaela from the development. I say the first name and you say the second.
Just say the first name. 3-1. Semi-final BC3, Portugal, Russia. 3-1 after the third end.
Aí, professor Luís Marta, Portugal perdeu o jogo 3-2, neste momento o par BC3 segue com 3-1 na frente, partimos para o último parcial, a Rússia vai sair, pressão no ar, Portugal terá que ganhar este jogo. Stephen, we are looking here, Portugal winning 3-1 in BC3, and these guys have the chance if they won the tournament, so they are fighting for the points.
Yes, they're fighting in front of the home crowd. It's fantastic for them. They've had a really, really good competition. They beat Brazil in the group stages, who are Paralympic champions. So in this game, Thailand have decided to go short, which is quite interesting. Maybe they want a little bit more control.
Yes, for sure. I think too. They have the opportunity to do what they want for sure, and they want to prefer to control the game. We'll see now. Andresa will try to play. This change of the length of the course can be difficult to these players to manage because they play long the first and the third end, around 5 meters the others. Now we're playing at 3 meters.
Yes, it is difficult to go.
Good shot.
It's a fantastic shot there by Brazil. The world number one from Thailand, he missed his first ball onto the jack, which gave them an opportunity to Brazil, and they certainly took it.
When we look to the Thailand players, they seems to be have fun here during the game. They are always with a lot of this compression. These guys don't need to show nothing, but they show always something to do.
A fantastic shot there by Bonsa. He just opened the situation in one shot and moved the jack ball onto his teammate's ball. So it's put the pressure straight back onto Brazil in one shot.
Here Andres have the opportunity to do the same again. You have taken the measures of in the last throw. We will see now if she can do the same.
She's got a nice white target, and I think it's a good decision.
On the bench, she did it well.
Fantastic shot. That's two of the best layup shots you'll see. Fantastic.
And this enthusiasm of Brazil is important here. We have been talking to in Rio. The atmosphere in Rio was amazing. Usually you don't have that atmosphere in the venues that we have the championship. Can be good if the people can come here to the venues to the sound.
Yes, no, I personally love it when there's a full crowd. I've experienced it in London in front of a home crowd, and in Rio they were very, very passionate. And in Portugal's very, they love bocce. They've been a strong bocce nation for many years, and it's great to see so many people coming out today and supporting their athletes.
And here a great open by Suangampa.
Fantastic shot. That opens up the situation again. Keeps the jack open, keeps the game open.
And certainly it was because of this that they will play so short. They can change the situations of the game very easily. They are usually very accurate at this distance, and they are use it in his favor.
Yes, and the more they can keep the situation open, the less chance that Brazil will have to accumulate a big score.
I don't know if in Great Britain you play the pétanque. No, it's more usual in France or in in Spain.
Yes.
But going in what you said before, because sometimes the tactics of the petanque is open and open and open, and don't keep the balls right the zone of the points. Here in Bosnia, usually we don't see that so much, but can be useful if the players can do that.
Yeah, especially when you have a score when you're winning. So, for example, Thailand are winning 5-1. The more they can keep it open, the less chance for Brazil to accumulate a score, and it means that Thailand should go into the final end in the lead. And we just seen a great shot there by the BC1 athlete.
And it's one way to control the game too, so they are doing that. Yes.
I would say we play petanque actually in Czech Republic quite a lot, and I found like actually opposite strategy or tactics, as you said. The players want to keep it open, in petanque. And I found like it depends really how much power the players have, because boccia is so much about flying up mostly, and if you compare the classification classes in BC1, they sometimes if the 90% of the shots are placements or layups, so not really powerful shots. And if you look in on I don't know, BC4 boccia, some players, the artillery players and the players which are stronger than for example the MD players, then they're using these powerful shots much more. And we generally, I would say that the boccia is the European style, like we call it like sticky, ball on one balls on one place. But if you have a look on, for example, BC4 Asian styles, just the big shots and powerful shots. So that reminds me petanque much more than this kind of European style. Yeah.
So Thailand here will just try and take control back if they can put. They've got a nice target here, so you can put one onto the white between the red and the blue. They will be in a fantastic position.
And again,
Excellent. That was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That puts Thailand in control of this end and also in the game. If Thailand can secure even 1 point this end, then it will be extremely difficult for Brazil to come back from.
they are thinking that can be good to be the point at this moment to be there. Cannot be good for them if they hope to be Brazil to play.
Yeah, it's Brazil to play. Yeah, so that was a fantastic shot. Brazil's they have 3 balls left, so
Yes, and I think it's because of that the talent guy is almost praying that the point is from there, because if it's not, they will have to throw the last ball and then give a little chance perhaps to Brazil. Not easy, but a little chance. But now with Brazil playing, the situation is different.
yes, it's always good to hold on to as many balls as you can and make your opponent play. That means you've always got some level of control. If Thailand had to use their last ball, as you say, then Brazil would have 3 balls to be able to manipulate the situation. So Martial looks like he's throwing.
Stephen Michaela talks a little before about the strength of the players, and in BC4 you can see things that for us that are watching by the cameras that are some difference that can make the difference of the game. If you have more, you are more stronger, or you don't have. Perhaps you saw Pedro da Clara don't have so strong, so you have to use another things that the strongest players don't have.
You just seen Martial open up that jack ball, fantastic. So that brings them back into this end, and hopefully they can take control. Yes, going back to the strong athletes, especially in BC4. they do have some advantage in terms of they can open up the play more often, but to be honest, if you're very accurate, like Pedro Clara is, he's a fantastic player. He's the tactics that he can get can outweigh the strength. It can outweigh the strength. So yes, this will have some advantages, but there is ways around it. That was tremendous. So those two balls when Thailand was in complete control of the end. You've seen Martial's qualities there. He just one ball to move the situation and another ball to take complete control.
Well done by Brazil. They are showing here a great level of game too.
Yes, Brazil are ranked number 3 in the world. They are the Americas champions, and that just demonstrates their qualities there. So Thailand have one ball left. It looks
I
like
think he's a player in the box number 1,
yes,
Fongsa.
Doesn't have much of a line in, so he either will defend to reduce the score, or he will try a lob shot to move the weight back. Yeah, so
Try to preserve the line of the action of the Brazilians.
yes, he's trying to defend because they really only had one ball in there, and that helps the situation.
Perhaps if they need, they will try to do the lob like you said, but here they don't need to take that risk.
Yes, the scoreline meant that he didn't need to take that risk. If he didn't go for the lob shot, he probably would have won the match, but it was high risk, and I don't think it was worth it at this stage of the match. It was a good decision.
Thailand also, they are very calm and very focused, and they doing good decisions in terms of strategy.
Martial just went out to check the situation, see how many points and how much room was available. If Brazil, they really need to score probably more than another point to come back into this.
Yes, I see now Martial.
Martial has the ball in his hand.
So don't want to see the ball. Martial, great!
That was a beautiful shot, absolutely tremendous. The referees just measured the score and finished. 2 points to Peru, so that would be 5 to Thailand and 3 to Brazil. So this game's not over yet.
And because of this is a beautiful game, Stephen, isn't it? We saw that Thailand is under control, try to make the control, but Brazil show here a good level and can score here 2 points that can try to achieve here.
Yes. Thailand with the first half of the match, so the first 3 ends, they went 5-0 up, and two ends later, the deficit is now 5-3. And we go into Brazil's jack placement, and it's Martial's jack placement. So we love this game for the momentum swings. So Brazil have positive momentum at the moment. Thailand are beginning to get a little bit nervous. So it's all to play for.
And we are making one type of comeback is always better for the guys who come from the down to the up.
Certainly, yes. As I said, the momentum's with Brazil at the moment, and you can see that the Thai athletes are looking a little bit more flat.
The momentum is since the perfect combination of the shots. BC1 had the perfect lob shot and then brilliant placement right in front of the check ball. added a second point. He brought up the momentum back. Yeah.
And Steven here, during 1 minute that the coach have to go to the court to talk with the players. The role of the coach can be important to transmit some comments and some small instructions, but not make the.
Yeah. So between every end we have 1 minute. The referee will call 1 minute. Then that's the opportunity for the coaches to come onto court to speak to the athletes, give them a little bit of advice, sometimes a little bit of strategy. Sometimes it could be just, you're doing great, keep going. So it could be short or as long as you need in that 1 minute. The coaches have to be back in their seat before that 1 minute is up. So we see Martial with his first ball. Yeah, it's a good first ball. It's a pretty good first ball. He's got a good angle. He's short of the jack and it's blocking some of the Thai athletes.
And now we'll see the replay of the and number 4 here. Swangamper will try probably to remove that Rwanda.
Yes, I think he will try and open up the situation. Wow.
Yes.
Yes, he, as we predicted, he went for power to dislodge the blue ball and opened up the situation for his teammate.
As we can talk, Hong Kong changed the game against Korea. Hong Kong won 6-4 against Korea. Hong Kong is in the final. And in the other semi-final, Russia have now the last ball. The coach of Portugal don't want to look to the here. Now he's looking. And this ball can be very important to Russia and Portugal game. The assistance of Anna don't want to look to the game. And they will wait to see, come here to the game. Great open Swangamp, and now what Pradeep will try to place the ball in the right place.
Yes, so Thailand will try to place this red ball straight onto the white, take control of the situation, put the pressure back on Brazil. They will be happy just to close the game down. Let's see how it goes.
And at this moment, the Russian ball don't go there. Portugal won, 3 to Portugal, 2 to Russia. Here the score of the game. Russia made 1 at this end, and 3 to Portugal, 1 to Russia. Congratulations, BC3 boys. The final is there, and it's possible to go to with a pair to Paralympics. We'll see the final soon against Hong Kong, and Portugal won in the group phase, so everything is possible.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No.
Stephen, but here for us it's important
Absolutely, anything is possible. And Portugal, as you said, BC3s, they come in with outside the qualification slots, and they've worked their way all the way to the final, and they will play Hong Kong in the BC3 final. So all to play for. Fantastic for them.
And sorry, it was not 1 point for Russia, it was 1 point for Portugal. In that way, 4 Portugal, 1 Russia. Congratulations, guys. Backing here to the game. Steven, what Pradeep, the ball
So
first, and then the Brazils don't.
yes, so
place it.
the Thailand managed to get a ball onto the white, but it's not a great angle. So Brazil can see some of the white, so they're trying to lay in to get some control. And yes, that you can see by the emotion and the momentum that they're playing well. It's still Thailand are closer, so Brazil are still using their balls.
Yes, but here they can work a little with that red there, trying to get 2 points, and then wait for the situation. This just can be better instead of trying to.
Yes, they will try. At the moment, they will just try and get position, so get closer than Thailand, make Thailand use some of their balls. That might have done it. That was a good shot.
There is no time for mistakes.
That red ball is very close too, but we'll see now the option of Thailand. if they can open that situation, can be good for Day. But
Yes, Thailand would now love to be able to see the white ball, so they might go for power here to open it. So he went for power, but he managed to move his red ball round the side of the white. The referee's just checking to see if it's touching or not. There's a possibility that it'll be 1 point to red and 1 point to blue, with both balls touching the jack ball. It's still red to play, so the referee indicated that Brazil are still closer. Thailand to play. So Vongsa has the ball in his hand. He maybe try and force the situation back towards the red, which is behind the white. Yeah, fantastic situation. Yep, he managed to move one of the blue balls, so now a little bit of the white can be seen.
and the space now is there. They have to put the ball, but now a easier situation. They manage very well this situation, and now what Pradit will try to.
There's a lot at stake here for all athletes. This is a very important shot.
So he's taking his time. The coach there is remembered how he have to throw the ball.
Yes. Yes. So you'll see the athlete, he'll go through his process, the way he's been given the ball, everything's what he knows before he delivers. That was incredible. That was incredible. Even the roll he got back off the white ball, so it sat in front of the.
We have here the replay. You can see fantastic shot from Wat Pradit. We're still waiting for the replay, but I think that he comes. As you can see, the ball is there. Perfect job. It was a fantastic job here from Wat Pradit.
And I think, to be honest, that might just secure it for Thailand. And if that's the winning shot, then it deserves to be.
This is almost the end point here in this game. Well done. But we will see the chances of make two here. Not easy to Brazil.
It's been a fantastic game where Thailand got off to a great start, and then you can see the fight back from Brazil. And it could have been anybody's. This is such a fantastic game.
And Steven, this last ball of the Thailand, the ball roll back. He wants to do something like this, but he always a little of luck in these situations. Or
absolutely, yeah. You would always love it to finish in that, in that situation. But luck does play its part on where the ball finishes.
Brazil miss here. Now they know that it's difficult to change the situation.
So Brazil have only one ball left.
Almost impossible now in this situation. The athletes are pretty calm. We're just waiting to throw Mossy on the last ball.
It looks like Thailand, if they come through this game, will play Korea in the final.
Yes, at this moment Korea winning 7-1. We will see now Marcel Luchantil tries to roll roll on top.
Go up and over. Official business terminology. But
2 points to Thailand. It's always good to have here someone that are involved in the process of the terminology. Michael, is the end of the game. What are the next steps of the committee?
Next step of the committee is develop the course coach level 2. We decided. Yeah, we fully focus on coaching. That's the next step.
Okay, here in end of the game, 7 to Thailand, 3 from Brazil. What a game here, Stephen.
Yes, I've really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me. You can see that Thailand are world number ones, and when they can pull out shots under pressure, like they did there at the very end, to get that roll back was outstanding. Their first ball on the first end was just perfect. Really put the pressure on Brazil, which they did well to try and come back, but it just wasn't quite enough.
So it's the end here in Povo de Varzim. Thanks, Steven, and thanks, Michaela, for have been here. It was a pleasure to have you and your knowledge to help us to comment this game. Soon we will come with the final BC3, and we will have Portugal in the court.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us.
Obrigada, and see you soon.
See you soon. I will wait for you soon. Thanks.